G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a quad combat shotgun with bullets exploding for area damage and +1 agility, major and minor legendary effects respectively. So the first thing you might notice about this particular weapon is it's got a big old recon scope on the top. It's actually a long recon scope, which is good for the accuracy stat, but why it's there? For no particular reason. Look, sometimes you just kind of want to have a toaster on the top of your shotgun, so, you know, it adds a little bit more functionality to it, because now, instead of exploding corpses all the time with the explosive legendary effect, you can make toast at the same time. So, you know, two birds, one stone. We're busy here in Fallout 76. We don't got time to toast back at our camps all the time. Anyways, we've got 139 damage. Hardened receiver is giving us that. We've also got the true long barrel and a line stock to increase our hipfire accuracy and this accuracy stat in general. We've also got 2 ranks of skeet shooter along with that to boost that even further. So whether this thing wants to be a sniper is up to if it wants to be bugged or not. We'll have to see how that turns out. But we'll chuck on the perks here. Now the good thing about patch 20, which is supposedly right around the corner, we can, you know, eventually clear out all of these perks that are just cluttering the thing, so I won't actually break my mouse from scrolling too hard through all of these perks. So we've got Demo Expert, as well as Shotgunner, obviously, to boost this thing's damage. Bloody mess goes on. Covert Operative, we're using this with a suppressor. We've got that extra agility, so, you know, we can sneak slightly better than we would without that point of agility. Also, the 10 extra action points are nice. Enforcer is there just to stop everything that might want to run at us or make the bats land. Fireproof there to make sure we don't die as much, and we've got Barbarian too, just to add a little bit more survivability. And now we're doing 285, which is interesting because that's the exact same number as I bloodied handmade at our Nerd Rage threshold. So yeah, this thing's not going to be breaking any DPS records, that's for sure, but you know, we could boost this a lot further, but 285 is not terrible. Okay, so here we are at the historical EA Play Center, where we're going to reenact the systematic killing of the player base that EA did to the players of Battlefield 5. I'm so glad Bethesda stuck with Fallout 76, because making content with this game, as you know, as terrible as the game might be at times, I enjoy it. Like, I wouldn't have all of these goddamn hours if I hated the game. I like to hate the game ironically. Jesus, that's embarrassing. Okay, maybe I should start again. Let's just roll with it. Anyways, so we've got our shotgun. Tinkerbell's ready to go, so yeah, let's get started. And I'm noticing that I'm not getting the little tick marks when I look at an enemy with the recon scope. Oh, I'm in caution and danger already. How sloppy of me. Okay, this is kind of pointless, but the scope has some other interesting effects about it. If you've got a high base accuracy, you'll actually find that your shooting in VATS will be more accurate. At least if you can actually get it there. Normally I'd run my shotguns at Nerd Rage threshold anyway and have all of that extra perception. But, you know, we can make the shotgun do some pretty good things. I'm pretty sure I'm bugging the fuck out right now because, let's see, we've got 466, which is decent. But that times 2.5... Actually, no, I'd probably finish a super mutant, a warlord, but, you know, it's kind of wildly inconsistent. You go, like, 2 millimeters out of this thing's range and it drops off, like, well, whatever. But you know what I mean. So we'll continue. We've got 481 and we've got a little bit of adrenal reaction. Not too much. Screw it. I'm committed to making this sniper shotgun a thing. It's not going to work like a Stalker's explosive, but yep, this level 10 super mutant skirmisher. Hell yeah. There we go. You can see the damage bugging out, then reeling in again. This weapon really wants to break the game, but I'm not letting it. That's fine. Anyways, we'll keep on going. There's a doggo. We'll shoot him in the side. I'm glad he turned around there. That would have been awkward. And we'll pop a cheeky little critical on that guy. Why not? 481 damage is still a thing. Let's go inside before the truck explodes. Now. The quad explosive combat shotgun is a weapon that is more, I think, would be better suited for a tool of crippling. If you're a melee character and you wanted to cripple things really quickly and not have to worry about reloading like I do all the time with my blade explosive on Becca, because honestly, you're not going for damage when you're using a crippling tool. You just want the thing to be crippled so you can punch it with your power fist. So I'm thinking something like quad, where you've got a massive mag pool, and this is the perforating magazine, so that 8 times 4 is 32. So, yeah, we're not even pushing the limits here in terms of ammo capacity, but 32 is a lot. It's a lot. You can fire that for a long time. So, if you're sick of taking pauses when you're shooting at a Scorched Beast Clean or something, you can go ahead and do that. Now, one of the things that I've found with the combat shotgun having a super low perception and only 8 rounds in the magazine is I'll commonly run out of rounds before I'm able to get the 1 rank of concentrated fire I have. Nice, that's some good script right there. And light too, couldn't ask for a better drop. Nice. And yeah, I commonly run the mag dry before I get concentrated fire to reel in. Yeah, that was sloppy of me. That's the kind of thing about explosive shotguns, is that you can't really get away with them normally, because if you're in a room like this, and yeah, they're not the best in close quarters. You got to be a little bit further away from your targets, which is just, you know, used for the fireproof perk. But now I'm not sneaking around, so I should probably regain stealth, because Miranda a little bit on the squishy side. See, she's not really suited to melee like Becca is at 8 endurance. But yeah, considering how much mag capacity you get out of this as compared to a standard, using it as a crippling tool is probably a good thing. Honestly, it'd be a perfect role if it had that weightless instead of agility, even though the agility is nice for maybe getting that extra shot or so in VATS if you're going for a Queen's wing or something, or a Scorched Beast wing, because doing that against a Queen doesn't count. That's a good knife, thanks Bethesda. You'd actually do pretty good too. Problem is with melee weapons versus Scorched Beast Clean, at least during this recording, is that can't cripple her. So yeah, hopefully they'll change that. There hasn't been any mention. Look, I'm on the PTS forums, and they're a little bit disappointed because the developers don't have a go on there. You'll have the community managers occasionally giving you updates, but I haven't seen them reply. Maybe they just think I'm mad and just, you know, they think I'm a problem that'll go away if left alone, and honestly it's working, so I'm being played here. Now beware that using a scope for the purposes of boosting your accuracy bonus and using it in VATS, keep in mind that you will increase your AP penalty per shot. Generally it's just better to go with a reflex sight if you want to use these things in VATS, but you know, just for something new to look at and to have half of my screen blocked. Take your bloody arm off, mate. Too bad you can't dismember them whilst they're still alive. That would be metal as fucking also awesome. You could do that back in Fallout 4, actually. Maybe they did it due to technical limitations, because, well, if the ghoul's arm pops off, it's got to pop off for everyone around, so... And they also hold it in a weird chicken wing fashion. Whoops. Now keep in mind, if you are going to use a scope on a weapon in, you know, if you want to increase the thing's accuracy and make it slightly more consistent in VATS, you got to remember that if you use this thing with a scope in VATS, the AP penalty will be slightly more than what it is normally. Also, I'm in here because I cleared out the ghouls in White Springs earlier and didn't give them time enough to respawn, and I'm too impatient to reset the server, so we'll go in here. A little bit of variety never hurt anyone, did it? So, actually, here's what I want to do. I just want to run through this place, and I'm getting plenty of legendaries today. Look at that. I had shit they're throwing at me, but script is script. So we'll get everyone out and about. We'll even toss a plasma grenade. Don't think I have any equipped. Nope, I don't. So we'll just go in, hit the air in front of us, just to make a noise for all the ghouls to react from. And now we can possibly see what kind of crowd control we have. Because remember, Enforcer, whilst it works when the pellets actually hit, it works for the explosive projectiles too. So you can basically just bounce explosives at the floor like someone would in PvP and cripple everything. And unfortunately shotguns aren't too great unless you're using a Gauss shotgun in PvP, so you can't make use of that. But people can easily counter it with adamantium skeleton too, so there's something to consider. I think any PvP player is going to grab adamantium skeleton because you get staggered when you get a limb crippled, and you want to reduce the amount of staggering because losing control is a death sentence. So the ghouls aren't putting much of a fight up. I haven't been in this cell, admittedly, in quite a while, but I expect them to be a little bit more active. We might have to actively hunt out the rest of them. Now, you can actually get away with using a scope on a shotgun for the most part if you've got the correct parts to make the hip fire really good, as well as skeet shooter. That definitely helps. Like, this spread at this range of the pellets here is totally fine, and if I just whiff a shot and get explosive damage only, we can shatter their kneecaps fast. You can say, bloodied is overpowered, please nerf Bethesda, without any thoughts. And now they're on the ground and dead without basically any effort. So yeah, you could go really well with the explosive combat shotgun no matter the prefix, I guess, because quad is a nothing prefix. So we're seeing stock damage here, although we are at nerd rage dash right now, and we've got the extra 60% damage and 558. It ain't nothing. Where's Many a True Nerd? I noticed that he uses a non-legendary combat shotgun, and bro, that's kind of cringe. Do you want this one? I want to give this to Many a True Nerd. Do you reckon he'll accept? Who knows? Anyways, let's move on to the next thing. Right, let's get started. And I'm hearing some things over there, and my combat shotgun might actually explode before this fight is done. So let's try to make this as efficient as possible. Well, that certainly worked, didn't it? There we go. I guess we just gotta pump up the bugs with this thing to make it really shine. Yeah, they're fixing this, I believe. I think. Like, I haven't had any instances of this nonsense in the PTS. That was some cool reverse segueing there, Mylurk. I'm impressed. I'm sad that I had to eliminate you from the gene pool. And there she blows. Give me a second. I will repair this. Pay to win repair kit it is. And wait, I need to equip it first. Also, netcode please. He didn't hit me that time though. Just wait until I've got my thing equipped. Yeah, that's right, you better run. Wow, he violently exploded. There we go. Also, plasma grenades please. Let's get one of these bad boys out there. Go back into sneaky, and we'll find something easy to hit. Also, fun fact, the water in third-person camera blocks out VATs. It thinks it's obscured, so yeah, probably one of VATs in first person. So I was having a discussion in my Discord the other day about how some rando monsters have some crazy explosive resistance about them. I told him, regular Scorched Beasts have it as well. He was adamant that it was only the Scorched Beast Queen. So let's find out. I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I've shot enough of these things down in this game to figure out. Also, good thing about using a scope is that you get a slightly better aim of where you're shooting. It's not very good. It's actually probably worse. Also, nice one. The 1-2 punch with the little damage over time drop there. See, area of denial done better. Totally whiffed that critical. But there we go. That's what we wanted to see. We're able to use the deep magazine pool there to make sure we got good stuff. You know, you could probably run, what's it called? That luck of the draw perk. And I'm still targeting the arms because I left the wings targeted. Anyways, so yeah, bro, it's the Scorched Beast have the explosive resistance too. They can take it in VATs though, so make sure you hit these things in VATs. Also, I've killed 3 huge creatures. That's nice. So what's around? Just this guy. Let's target the noggin and we'll get concentrated fire to do everything. No, ghouls, we're already finished with you. Get out of it. Sit down. Sit down, boys. On the ground, right now. There we go. Oh, you're not getting away that easily, mate. Let's go concentrated fire. Nice mag. Good magazine. That's kind of the real benefits of it right there. Also, you can get like uncomfortably close zoom-ins. Like, I can tell your eye color, even though the scope is partially grayed out. But this would make for a good cursed image right there, just a overly pixelated Fallout 76 ghoul model. And that might be it for these guys. We have to be really close to make this thing work. I guess that'd be a way of kind of gauging where exactly you want to be attacking your enemies with a suppressor. You know, after it stops yeah, you get to the distance where it actually starts to increase is probably where you want to engage. So you can probably use that as a little bit of a idea of what your shotgun range might be like. Yeah, that was totally bugged right there. I shouldn't have been able to pull that off. With how much damage again? Remind me, game. Helps if I find the weapon. 558. So, you know, we're not even using Nerd Rage. We are pulling our punches a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they have somewhere around... It's over 1,000. I think it's over 1,300 at least. I don't actually know how much health these guys have. I probably should know, but I know how much damage it takes to kill them, and I feel like that was a little bit too quick, even for a shotgun. Alrighty, let's get started on these guys, and we'll finish off with the Great and Mighty Swan. Get off that guitar of yours. You can't play Nirvana in my server. Also, where's the other one? Almost got killed by a plant just then. Really? Great turnout from the Blood Eagles today. What do they take a day off work? Is it your RDO, mate? Is that what it is? Yeah, you can tell how grossly inconsistent this thing is. And also, that's a nuclear winter laser. Yeah, quite honestly, my fault for not healing up. But, you know, there's a lot of incentive to go with low damage. You had a submachine gun, apparently. Yeah. It's not a Bethesda bug. They die and drop something on a level list, which happens to just be that. At least I think that's how it works, because it's so inconsistent. So occasionally they'll drop what you need, or what they have, but not all the time. Anyways, there's a glowing behemoth. It's old mate Swan. Shut up, Discord. Sorry everyone who checked their Discords with great disappointment. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it works. I think you get the idea of this thing. It's pretty decent. Not exactly a sleeper weapon. It is an explosive quad shotgun, which is just good for just smashing shells down range without pausing to reload every often. But yeah, I'm not entirely disappointed with it. It's done admirably well. It actually has beaten my expectations. The problem with this thing taking several shots to kill some things leads to problems with its I guess, condition bar, but I do have the Align stock and True Bar, which brought that down significantly. So if you want this thing to have slightly more longevity with, I guess, less accuracy, Forceful stock is the way to go. I've got that on my Bloodied Explosive Combat Shotgun. You can see the massive difference between condition bars there, and it really shows if you have to shoot things more than once. But yeah, if you'd like to see this thing in your game, I could go for some caps. Give me, like, max caps for this thing. You know you want it. Thank you for watching, guys.